Hey, this is We've Been Drinking MMA, and this is our best value bet video where we're thinking that the price is just right to make these bets. You know, we're gonna be looking to make good money off these bets, and it's a great price. So for me, this is backhand. There is a fight taking place on this October 14th card, UFC card. It's a UFC fight night. Barboza Yusuff, and my best value bet of the night that I can think of is the first. It's the first fight on the main card, and it's Christian Rodriguez versus Saaiman. And I'm thinking that it goes all 3 rounds because they both have pillow hands. They don't hit with power, and so I'm thinking Cameron Saaiman doesn't hit with enough power, and Christian Rodriguez doesn't hit with enough power, so it's going all 3 rounds. Fun thing is that they both have some finishes on their resume, but I'll explain later why I'm thinking that the finish won't happen and that it will go all 3 rounds in that fight. Lousy, what is your best value bet?
My best value bet is Jennifer Maia, co-main, by decision. I have my reasons as well. You want me to go through them?
Yeah, go ahead, bud.
She's first act. If you actually look at her record and how she won or how she lost, every single fight except for her first fight or I believe it was 2019, 2018 or something like that. It was against Joanne Wood, and she won by a submission. But every other fight besides that she's fought in the UFC has been win or loss is by decision. So I am going Jennifer Maia because I think she's going to win, and I'm going decision because that's how she wins.
So she's minus 140. That's $140 to profit $100. But if you pick Maia by decision, you might make it that it's all you have to do is put $100 to make maybe $150. It might be something like that.
Yeah.
So it's even better value, and that's why that's your best value bet, right?
That is why.
You know, she not only is Lousy picking the fighter, but he's picking Maia to win by
a certain
decision, a certain way. So it's going to go all 3 rounds. For me, and I love that bet, man. And I'm totally going to be betting that too, man. So I appreciate you coming up with that bet for me and you and for whoever else loves it. But for me, my best value bet that I can think of is Christian Rodriguez versus Cameron Saaiman going all 3 rounds. Going the distance. Those props haven't come out, but I'm assuming it's going to be something like $100 down to profit maybe $100, or maybe $120 to profit $100, or it could be $100 to profit $120. You never know. We'll see when it comes out. But for me, I love it because Saaiman he's undefeated. So chances are, you know, he is actually he's the underdog, just slight underdog. It's basically a pick 'em fight on the odds. However, Cameron Saaiman has 5 fights in the UFC, 3 of them being KOs, but the KOs are against people on the ground. So he doesn't actually have much power when he's striking on the feet, you know, and that's why I call him a pillow hand fighter, and I also call his opponent Christian Rodriguez a pillow hand fighter, by the way. But Cameron Saaiman needs to take you down, grapple you, and then he can throw some punches on the ground. But the problem is it's against lower level grapplers on the ground who don't have, you know, ability to get off the ground and things like that. So he does have a good record, but it's KOs on the ground only versus fighters who just don't really belong in the UFC and who just aren't that good. And he just controls them on the ground. He's only 22 years old. Christian Rodriguez doesn't get controlled on the ground. So Christian Rodriguez fought a better grappler than Cameron Saaiman named Raul Rosas Jr., who there's a lot of hype around, 19 years old, or he's 18 years old. And he's 2-1 in the UFC, but it's the age. He's 18 years old, and he just submits people. He takes people down at will. He's an unbelievable takedown artist with wrestling. And Rodriguez was able to turn it around and get on top of Rosas. So if he's easily able to control Rosas, who's a better grappler and wrestler than Saaiman in this fight, then Rodriguez should have no problem turning it around on Saaiman and getting on top of Saaiman. Now, so Saaiman is not going to be able to stay on top and throw punches and KO Rodriguez because Rodriguez can turn it around on Saaiman. So then you think about, okay, but Rodriguez has some submissions, so he can submit you. Maybe he chokes you or whatever. The thing is, Saaiman is actually stronger than Rodriguez overall. He's a strong kid. physically strong, and so he doesn't get bullied on the ground. And he's also smart at taking your wrist and controlling your hips and being able to turn you around. So in my opinion, it's going to turn out into like a messy grapple fest on the ground against the cage. There's going to be some punching here and there, but in reality, Saaiman can punch with a little bit more power even when they're standing up. But the problem is that his power is not really there, and Rodriguez inside the pocket, he has good twitchy head movement, and he's very aware when he's in the pocket. On the outside of the pocket, Saaiman will maybe land some punches here and there, land some leg kicks. He does have some nice fast leg kicks, but Rodriguez is looking to grapple and things like that, and it's just going to be kind of a fight where there's not much damage going to be done, and they can't finish each other for the reasons that I said on the ground. So for me, they're both ground fighters that finish, but they both can't finish the other guy because they're both are going to just be grappling and fighting for who goes on top, and it's going to be just cats fighting, basically, rolling around, So, yeah, Saaiman just has a slight advantage on the feet, and it's not good enough to bet him, and I know that he doesn't have enough power. They both got pillow hands, so I'm betting that this fight is going all 3 rounds. And Lousy, your best value bet is what again?
Jennifer Maia by decision.
I love it. He's picking the fighter and the way she's going to win. And I'm sure it's going to be underdog money where he bets 100 to profit 150 or something like that. It's phenomenal. Mine, I'm hoping that the odds are good as the days go on. It's going to be nice and cheap. But both of these are best value bets because there's a high likelihood they're going to happen, and we're getting a great price to do it, to bet it. So we love these bets. Hope you guys did love this video. Like, subscribe, comment, please, for the YouTube algorithm, and we appreciate you.
Thanks, everybody.